I feel really moved, I guess, to make a video today. If you've been reading my Facebook posts or you subscribe to my blog, you can tell that I'm in a space of feeling really powerfully about how we need to change the direction that we've chosen as humans on the planet. And it's clear to me, and probably to you, that the paths we've chosen are leading to converging crises, that we are facing several disasters at once. And there's really no strong solution in sight that has been prioritized or chosen in order to move us past these crises. So because we can't really trust the people in power right now to protect us or help us, the work really comes down to us, to each and every person on the planet. And how do we take the reins, and how do we shift this story into one that creates a world that everyone can be happy in, everyone can live in, everyone can be healthy in, not just humans but animals and the waterways and all of that. So I drove to the top of the local mountain, and I drove to the river, and I drove to the lake, and I've been listening and trying to hear the wisdom that's available for us in times like these, and listen to my ancestors, and really tap into this intact stream of wisdom to try and hear how we get ourselves out of this mess. And what I'm being told now is that humans are designed with a creative faculty that is an echo of our creator. So in the Aboriginal and many indigenous traditions, there's this idea of the world being sung into being, of the word being made into matter, and that it comes out of the dreaming, the dream time, the universal mind. And out of that universal consciousness and universal mind, everything is created from that. And as humans, we too carry that ability to pull from the universal mind, or to pull from the unseen realms and create in the seen realm, or create in matter. And how do we do that? You know, there's so many good teachers out there about manifestation. Sarah Amala made a great video yesterday about how to manifest. So I'm not going to get into the how of it. But what I'm hearing is that we really need to, as a collective, engage this dreaming faculty right now, all the time. So wherever we are, imagining what this place would be like in a healed situation. What would our buildings look like if we built them for human happiness and environmental sustainability? What would our education system look like if we built it for the happiness and thriving of children? What would our car look like if it was designed for, the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of beings? You see, the path we've been led to has this principle where everything we see is designed to be cheap and make a huge profit. So that is the principle behind everything we see now. How inexpensively can it be made so that someone in power can have the most money? If we started to reimagine the world in a way that things are redesigned, not based on a principle of cheap, poor quality, so someone gets a lot of money, but instead for beauty and for the greatest benefit to all beings, what would that look like? I practiced this on the way here, and I was imagining, I drove past the new UPMC hospital in West York, and I saw they had a lot of wetlands around the building, and they planted quite a few trees. And in their wetlands, there are cattails and other aquatic species. And I could tell that they did a really good job when they were planning the building of this hospital to incorporate the health of the natural world around them. And I was thinking, oh, how would I love to live in a world where that kind of planning was actually subsidized by our tax dollars. So if we continue to still be taxed, if we choose that to give money toward our collective well-being, that instead of that money being used for things like subsidizing monocultures of soy and corn that destroy the environment and leave no living soil, if that money could be subsidizing things like ecological restoration. So if you plant a forest on an acre of property, that acre of forest becomes a financial investment because it's cleaning the water, it's holding the soil together, it's creating biodiversity, it's drawing down carbon. And so our government would pay you maybe $10,000 a year to maintain that acre of forested property because it is a benefit to everyone. So I'm starting to re-envision, like, what might our economy look like if our output was ecological sustainability, human health, human vitality and thriving, if we started to make those our metrics of success instead of the most money for the people who have the most power. So I encourage you to do the same thing. As you go through your day today, use your imaginative faculties. What would this world look like if we made a different choice? If we designed our systems in a way that were revitalizing and regenerative for humans and all species? I would love to hear what you see as you start to re-engage these imaginative faculties and believe that this is possible. I want to hear your dreams, because as we share them with each other, then we find points of coalescence, these nodal points of resonance, like, oh, your dream and my dream match. Let's move towards each other. And now we know another person whose dream matches our dream. And we start to create these pockets of transformation. Because when we have the power of our passion that comes through the heart and love in community, anything and everything is possible. And it's possible in a really short period of time. So that's my message for today. I want to hear about your dreams. Please take the time every day to reimagine our world. And let's work together to make it a real possibility. Not just wait for the people who have the power to suddenly wake up and use their power well, as we've seen that hasn't happened yet.